For millennia, the relationship between humans and the wild has been defined by loss. Thousands of animal species, from the mighty to the magnificent, have vanished, driven to extinction both in the distant past and in recent memory. But what if the story didn't end there? What if these extinct animals learned the ultimate lesson, how to hide from us? Could some of the most legendary beasts of the past still be clinging to life in the world's least explored corners? To find out, stay with us as we uncover the astonishing evidence. For a time, the swamps of India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar were home to one of the most uniquely elegant ducks on Earth, the pink-headed duck. Its striking pink head made it instantly recognizable. Always considered a rare creature, its fate was sealed by British colonialists, whose relentless hunting and habitat destruction pushed this beautiful bird to the brink. The last confirmed sighting was in India in 1949. But the story might not be over. In recent years, highly credible reports have emerged from fishermen and farmers claiming to have seen these ducks in the isolated, virtually impenetrable swamp regions of northern Myanmar. These areas are incredibly difficult to reach. Furthermore, the pink-headed duck was a nocturnal animal, meaning it was most active under the cover of darkness, making discovery exponentially harder. Perhaps this is why the IUCN hasn't fully declared it extinct, maintaining its status as critically endangered. Could a small, silent population be thriving, unseen, in the world's forgotten swamps? Don't mistake the thylacine for a wild dog. This was a marsupial, a cousin to the kangaroo and wombat, and one of the most extraordinary predators to ever walk the island of Tasmania, south of mainland Australia. When the British arrived around 1800, systematic aggressive hunting campaigns essentially wiped the thylacine out in just a few decades. This heartbreaking footage is of the last known female, who died in captivity in 1936 due to poor treatment. The thylacine instantly became one of the most famous extinct animals in the world, which makes verifying modern sightings notoriously difficult. A flash of striped fur in the distance, often dismissed as a fox, a feral cat, or even a painted dog. However, a compelling photograph captured by a farmer in 2019 has fueled belief in its survival. And look at this map. It logs every post-1936 thylacine sighting reported across Tasmania. For many experts, these reports suggest one thing. The thylacine is not a ghost of the past, but an elusive survivor still roaming the deep Tasmanian wilderness. The Ice Age was ruled by the fangs of the saber-toothed cats, not just the famous Megalodon, but also Homotherium and Meganterion, who were found across the globe. We know they vanished as humans competed for the same prey, but is it possible that a member of this mighty family still survives today? In the remote nations of Chad and the Central African Republic, local citizens and tribal communities claim to encounter a creature they call the Aneti tiger. According to witnesses, it is significantly larger than an average lion and possesses 2 terrifyingly long canine teeth in its jaw. Critically, they have also observed the remains of hippos with their throats slashed, a signature move of the ancient saber-toothed cats when taking down large prey. When presented with pictures of a modern lion, tiger, and leopard mixed with a saber-toothed cat, tribal witnesses immediately pointed to the saber-tooth. It's possible that an undiscovered lineage of saber-toothed cat may be silently prowling the unexplored corners of Africa. The end of the Ice Age and the rise of human hunting wiped out most of the world's megafauna. But perhaps one of the largest, the elephant-sized relatives of the modern tree-dwelling sloth, the ground sloth, might be the Ice Age's final incredible survivor. If you've heard of the Mapinguari, a mythical monster reported by tribal people in the Amazon rainforest, you might recognize the description: a one-eyed creature that walks on its knuckles. Ancient ground sloths, like the massive Megatherium, which could reach 20 feet in length, also walked on their knuckles. While the largest ground sloths were immense, the Mapinguari is usually described as being around 7 feet tall. It's entirely plausible that a medium-sized species of ground sloth survives today, hidden deep within the Amazon, a rainforest less than 10% explored. The Steller sea cow was a gentle giant, a massive marine mammal more closely related to the elephant than the modern cow. Look at the size comparison to a human. It was enormous, yet peaceful and herbivorous. They lived in the Bering Sea, between Russia and Alaska. The tragedy was, European explorers only discovered them in 1741 and then hunted them relentlessly for their meat. It took 27 years, by 1768, for this magnificent creature to be hunted to extinction. But a few hundred years later, in 1962, the crew of a whaling ship submitted a highly reliable report of a sighting. Later, in 2014, photographs were allegedly taken near the coast of Greenland, though the creatures are barely visible. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from the native communities on the nearby Commander Islands. Their population, numbering less than 1,000, still firmly believe that the Steller sea cow survives. We all know the Megalodon, the most terrifying sea monster to ever exist, which went extinct 2.6 million years ago at the dawn of the Ice Age. Is it even possible for an animal extinct for millions of years to be rediscovered? Consider the coelacanth, a 400-million-year-old deep-sea fish thought to have gone extinct with the dinosaurs. The world was stunned when it was rediscovered alive in 1938. Now, Megalodon was not a deep-sea fish. Many speculate it lurks in the Mariana Trench, but its physiology could not handle the extreme pressure. So what evidence remains? In 1875, the HMS Challenger dredged up a megalodon tooth that was only 11,000 years old. More recently, in 2013, the sighting of a massive black deep-sea shark, the so-called black demon shark, suggests that perhaps Megalodon, or one of its giant relatives, is still out there. After all, 95% of our oceans remain unexplored, and you never know when a whispered legend will be turned into an undeniable reality.